Ah, Nation, Sanbanan Bafetu. Ish, yeah, it might have taken a long time than I expected to be live, but I'm here now, and we'll be talking about, the newly player that has been linked with us, Talapana or Rhuan Gabriel, and also Umfundo Vilakazi. Because yesterday, when we talked about this player, I made an example. I feel like Talapana Umfundo Vilakazi is way better than this guy, especially on that attacking midfield role. Well, someone said in the comment section, QP Mfethu, no ways. This guy is better than Umfundo because Udlalangale Kaizer obviously is playing for a second tier team. I was looking at Kaizer guys, the first team. Currently, they're not doing so well. But Legu number 17, which is, some might say it's not bad, but for me it is. Despite that, they do have some exceptional players. So, Batlala Lego Serie A, which is, kind of expensive. So, with that being said, I made a list and I've written down everything in terms of those two players just to compare and then spawn OT. Actually, who is the best between those two players and who is more suitable for us? I know, guys, it's just links. Nothing is accurate. I even told you in terms of the photos, those two players are just being linked, but there's no truth to it. So now, let us just talk about these players and then speaking on the 5 things that I've compiled in terms of what we can look at. I'm sorry about that. So number 1, we're looking at the creativity and the flair of those two players. Mfundo is a natural playmaker. On a bit of a street football style in terms of how he plays his football. Obviously, he loves taking a risk and through balls. And also, he has a bit of tricks up his sleeve. That is Umfundo Vilakazi. And then with Gabriel, he's a bit more structured, less flashy. He focuses on making a decision over being fancy. So between those two, for me, the point here goes to Umfundo Vilakazi because, as I've said, he's a national playmaker. He's skillful, and he knows how to take risk when it's necessary. And obviously, that is something that Gabriel doesn't possess currently. And then number 2, we look at the tactical intelligence of those two players. Number 1, Umfundo, obviously, he's still learning to position himself and also in terms of decision making. So Umfana too, as young as he is, he's still learning. He's still learning all of those things. You might say Gabriel is a bit better because looking at him, he's more disciplined. He understands the systems better and he keeps the shape and tries to play it a lot more safer. So, between the two, here the point will go to Rhuan because definitely he's more disciplined and he understands what needs to be done, especially when it comes to our systems. So with Umfundo, he's someone who likes to do things ngendlela yakhe, and it does work sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't work, especially when you need someone that is consistent, someone that is going to be reliable in certain games. Umfundo does not give you that. Hence, we see him not starting most of the games. As Katinesning, we play a different player, especially on that attacking midfield role. He has been given a chance, but it's not something that he's very strong on. So hence, Sponanji, some other players being given that role. Your players like Umfundo Duduzi Shabalala, and also our Ethan Chislet, Naege Auguston Serino, who, by the way, contract is coming to an end very soon. So it would make sense why Kaizer just would be looking for an attacking midfielder, but this guy, we've already talked about him. I don't think it's going to happen, but anyways, it's there. So the point here, as I've said, it goes to Rhuan. And then number 3, we look at the impact in when it comes to our games. Well, with this one, I definitely would give it to let's start with Umfundo. Actually, Umfundo, his Katinesning, it tends to disappear, but then he can also change the games instantly. Angangena nje same time ashintshe game, and it's something he has done, I believe, recently, where we managed to score the second goal. I think it was because of how he was introduced and how he managed to be able to change the game instantly, because everything was just starting to look flat. And at some point I even thought, no, Elon Magesi, I believe it was Magesi, is going to capitalize now. Was it Magesi? Guys, why do I quickly forget? I think it's Devon City, not Magesi. Devon City, where we managed to score the second goal. And then number two, he's very high on taking risk. He does take a risk very, very, very highly. And with that being said, taking higher risk with bigger rewards. And then with Rhuan, he's more consistent, less explosive, and then also he's mostly reliable. So ngasho lana ukuthi Umfundo is more of a magical player, and then Rhuan is more of a control player. He controls things on how they should be. So in terms of impact, I think I will give it to Umfundo. Umfundo is an impact player, Bafethu. Umfundo is an impact player. So the point goes to Umfundo Vilakazi on this one. And then looking at the decision making, there I think it's very, very easy. So Umfundo does tend to hold on to the ball very long sometimes, and sometimes it does play frustratedly so. And then with Rhuan, he's more simpler, he's quicker, he's decisive. He does what needs to be done at that moment, unlike Umfundo, who takes a bit more time trying to decide what needs to be done. So those are the areas where Umfundo can improve. So I give the point here to Umjita Rhuan. So now we have one for Rhuan. No, actually, we'll see it after. Let me not waste time. And then we look at potential, number 5. With this one, when it comes to potential, Umfundo Vilakazi has a higher chance of hitting the ceiling, and also he can be a top tier number 10 if only those mistakes can be fixed. Aggression, decision making, wasting too much time on the ball sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes if he can fix all those things, and as did I mention, aggressiveness, he needs to be aggressive. Definitely he can become the top world class attacking midfielder, because he does have the vision. He's thorough, he understands what needs to be done. It's just that sometimes unokubangati he's a bit lost kancane. Hence, as I've said before, he's not starting games. So when he can start more games and also understand a bit better and of what needs to be done, especially playing as an attacking midfielder, come on guys, now we have a gem. I don't want to lie to you. And then with Rhuan, he's a good player, but he's more limited because he's not that skillful. He just have the basics. I understand he's coming from Brazil, but his skill, it's something that is lacking. So he cannot be able to do what Umfundo can do, especially in tight spaces where Umfundo can be able to try and maneuver the situation a bit more calmly and doing more the impossible. So it's another point for Umfundo Vilakazi on this one. And then when I look at the score, so it's Umfundo here, and then we have Rhuan here, 1-1, and then we also have Umfundo nangapha kuma impact games, which makes it 2 for Umfundo, and then we have Rhuan here, which makes it 2 for Rhuan, and then last but not least, number 1, creativity and flair. As I've said, I've given it to Umfundo Vilakazi. So with that, Bafethu, it comes to the conclusion, yoguthi, according to my test, Umfundo Vilakazi is the better option to play that attacking midfielder. But I'm not gonna end it just that. Lapo, I can say to you, Umfundo Vilakazi is more of an artist, and then Rhuan is more of a player who understands the system. He's a system-based player. If you do not think that is the case, there's a video here so that you can be able to see Umfana. Definitely, he's young, yes, I understand, but he's more of system-based player. A bit of Ethan Chislett. I feel like he's a bit more like Ethan Chislett. Ethan Chislett does not have the skills, don't get me wrong, but Mfundo does, and he's capable of doing some incredible things when we least expect it. So with that being said, Itestiame, as I've said, has come to a conclusion, and Mfundo is more of an artist, and with proper time, he can be a lot more better. A lot more better bafethu. And then with Rhuan is someone esingamthatha manje simsayine manje simdlalise manje while Mfundo is still improving. But I don't think that is going to happen, guys, with Rhuan Gabriel, because as I've said, or as I've mentioned earlier on, Umchita is someone who is a lot more expensive, and it's not going to be easy to say we're going to sign him Semlete and Achorena. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Bafethu down in the comment section below. I believe this is it. I'm sorry. Should have given you this live a bit earlier, but I'm here now in Zayona. So yeah, I can see even on the voting poll, Utu Vilakazi has won a lot more than Gabriela, which, yeah, even I'm a result to me. That's what I've gotten from him. Peace.